quick sound check. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All right, so my sound up. All right, man. We streaming today, guys. I'm staying consistent to what I said I was gonna do, and what I said I was gonna do is I'm going to stream, try to stream every day. Forbid if something happens, right? Let me go get my other phone. I done set it down somewhere. Yeah, we gonna stream every day. Like a storm coming in. It looks like a storm may be coming in, y'all. I'm gonna set my phone down somewhere, but it's fine. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, Zen, what's up? How you doing? I appreciate you for joining. All right, baby, now go ahead on now. Like we got a storm coming in. Mobile, what's happening? Mobile, Alabama. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? My YouTube family picking up, y'all. A lot of y'all don't follow me on Facebook, but that's where primarily most of all my followers are on Facebook. But YouTube's starting to pick up a lot. It really is. But like I said, I'm streaming across a lot of platforms. I'm trying to stream across everything, and I'm gonna do it every day. I'm just, one thing I noticed, y'all. No, not I noticed. One thing I have learned, and it's this: consistency. It's all about consistency. That's what it is. Whatever you want to do, if you want to win at it, or if you eventually want to be successful with it, you have to be consistent. Now, the next phase of it is it's going to be boring. Consistency is boring. Being consistent is boring because some people want to run off and have some fun and go do this and go do that. But the consistent individuals are the ones who just stay locked in on this one thing, and it's boring. And it gets to the point where, you know, you seem almost weird a little bit, but that's how people come up. That's how they come up. They don't come up flipping and flopping between things. People come up because they stick with something and they be bored. It be boring. Everybody be bored, and they be like, "Man, it's boring. I want to do something else." And they not. They just sticking with it, doing it. So that's exactly what I'm. Yeah, yeah. Go live on TikTok. Absolutely, man. Go live. What's up, Jamarcus? What's up, man? I'm telling you, man. You guys are really impressing me with the YouTube family, man. I'm not playing. My YouTube family is getting to the point where, man, I didn't even. The story goes right. We was not even really posting on YouTube like that because everybody was following us, engaged, and commenting, liking, and sharing on Facebook. So this year, I told my wife, let's just take YouTube serious. She's like, because she been telling me. So I decided to take YouTube serious. I take Instagram serious now. I take YouTube serious. I'm back on my TikTok. I used to be pumping on TikTok real heavy, but TikTok will make you really famous. Like it really will. Like you'll blow up on TikTok, and everywhere you go, somebody will know you. And I mean, I think that's how that old algorithm was. I don't know how it is now, but I remember, man, being places everybody knew me up in there. Um, but it ain't necessarily a lot of money associated with it unless you're doing them live challenges and the stuff that come along with it. Are you selling products? So just from content monetization standpoint, Facebook is the pretty much ideal because the bar low. It don't take much to get monetized on Facebook, and all you have to do is build you up a community. But so we taking YouTube serious now, and it's picking up. Y'all, like I said, man, y'all really surprising me on YouTube, man, for real. Because all my comments and my engagement right now on this live is from YouTube. Jamarcus on here. What's up, Jamarcus? Zen on here. Um, Lahoma on here. Lahoma, Washington. I got a cousin named Lahoma. They all on here. You know, when they comment. But yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, today I was thinking about what I was gonna talk about on live, and it ain't even so much, man, what I'm gonna talk about. I just love to share information with people because I feel like the Bible says my people perish for lack of knowledge, right? And I feel like so many of us have been behind that knowledge curve, right? We don't know enough to make informed decisions, and that's what I always say. It's impossible to make an informed decision when you don't have all the information. So almost all the time we playing behind that knowledge curve and we don't know. So anytime I learn something, I want to teach it. Now, one thing I want to tell you, if you are an individual who go seek knowledge, don't fall for this like poverty mindset. Because poverty is a mindset. What I mean by poverty mindset is you feel like I can't tell nobody. They call it the zero sum. The zero sum. That you feel like if somebody gains something, that means you're losing. That's not the truth. No, you have to have an abundant mindset to say there's plenty for everybody. It really is. Um, you got to decide what it is you want and just go after what you want. But I don't have a problem with sharing any information with anybody. I never have. I never have. Um, I remember back in Atlanta when I used to be into all kind of stuff, and I would figure out this little hustle spot. I tell somebody like it didn't matter to me. Like, and the dude get mad at me, man. You told them, and I'm like, okay, but I just never been that type of person that I feel like you coming up means I'm going down. Like the money you make means I'm making less. Like it just don't work like that for me. So I'm not a gatekeeper, right? So I want to share as much information I can with y'all, man. Um, I'm doing a video right now about the homestead and the benefits of the homestead. And one of the benefits of a homestead, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all already know, is the tax provision in there, where you pretty much get 50% off your taxes by filing a homestead exemption. And when you file a homestead exemption, when I was in the city, I had a homestead exemption on my property, right? And I was getting pretty much 50% off on my taxes, and I didn't know what I was doing. But you're pretty much declaring that your property is a homestead. It's gonna function as a homestead. And I did a video on Instagram yesterday talking about the difference between a farm and a homestead, where a farm is just a business. It's agriculture business. It's just like a barbershop. It's just like a restaurant, any other business you can fathom or think about. That's all a farm is. It's just you doing it out of crops and animals, and you're being creative. Whereas a homestead is all about the self-sufficiency, food security. You want to create a place where you got food at. You may even go off grid so you don't have to worry about the government. You know what I mean? So you own 100% solar. So it's all about self-sufficiency. And in Georgia, I can't speak for any other states. In Georgia, there's no property limitation, no size on it, where you be declared as a homestead. So you could get a homestead. I had a homestead exemption in DeKalb County, straight up. And I was getting 50% off of my taxes in DeKalb County. Now, since I've been down here, I have learned some other stuff, right, about homestead and homestead exemption. And I've learned how homestead exemption can benefit you. Another thing homestead exemption can do is protect you from creditors. It'll protect you from creditors. They can't take the homestead. Now, Georgia is more of an equity-based protection. But Florida and Texas, man, it's pretty much 100%. Now, the mortgage company can, because it's not yours. Tax liens, tax can. Let's say a contractor who did some work on your place, they could come out of it. But like credit cards, personal loans, stuff like that, they can't take the property because it's a homestead, but it has to be your primary residence. You can't do it on multiple residences. You can only do it on one. So let's say you shooting bad and you can't pay them folks. I know some people just say, well, if you pay your bills, some people, if you ain't never been in a situation where you can't pay, then you ain't qualified to speak, because you could reach that point, especially if you working, because business or whatever, at the end drop of a dime, man, your business can shut down. That happened to me. It didn't shut down, but it went away. Um, in 2023, it picked back up, but it did go away, and it's slow. Even now, it's a little slow. Your job, you get, especially right now, when people getting laid off on their jobs, let go, their hours getting reduced. Yeah, man, you got a homestead. The creditors gonna come after you, but they can do whatever they want to do, but they can't take where you live. You get what I'm saying? That's why my end game for all you are is to get your property outright. Now I know that's not a reality for everybody, but I sold my place in Atlanta and I made a good little bit of money on my place in Atlanta. And instead of taking the money and starting over in Atlanta, like a lot of people I know did, they just went and bought a place in a better neighborhood. Like we stayed in Stone Mountain, we made a good little bit of money. We could have took the money and put it down on a place in Roswell, and just we were already accustomed to paying mortgages, so we'd have been in this nice community in Roswell or Sandwich, somewhere nice up in the Atlanta area, and just been fine with paying that. We had a good little bit to put down. So long as we didn't go overboard, we could have stuck around $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month, but it was been in a better community. But my wife, that's why I appreciate her so much, because I was like, man, I just I want to get up out of here. I lost Kiva D. That's my daughter. A lot of you may not know. I lost my 21-year-old daughter on the freeway. Somebody shot her on 285, and they killed her. And matter of fact, it's coming up. It's like the 26th of this month when it happened. Right up in the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. It happened, right? So after she got shot and murdered, I ain't really want to be there no more. Like I really didn't. I ain't want to be there no more, because it just was back to business as usual. Yeah, just another funeral. Somebody died. So I just like, man, I gotta get up out of there. So I told my wife I want to leave. So we went and moved downtown. We stayed downtown for a little while. Well, in the Buckhead area. I mentioned, because downtown Atlanta and Buckhead, two different. We stayed in the Buckhead area, right across from right down from Phillips Plaza, right over the 400 bridge. It's a bridge. You got Phillips Plaza right there. You coming back towards Piedmont, the Piedmont Road, cross over 400 right there, and you got like this little plaza right there. It's something called the Atlanta Church, Buckhead Church, and then it was a little plaza. We stayed in this little community right across from that. It was nice at first, but then of course they sold it, and then they lowered the standard, and we got up out of there. But so we took the proceeds from the sale and bought this. Now I know everybody can't do it, and it was a big thing. Like I'm not gonna act like that wasn't no big thing, man. That was big, scary, and you gotta have somebody who with you. If I would have, and I would have did it with my children. If my children were still young and they were staying at home, I would have did it with them too. Matter of fact, I would have preferred to raise them downhill. I would have preferred to have them down here, going to school, get out of school. The bus let them out on the dirt road. They all walk down a little. It's right here by the top of the hill. Y'all can see up at the top of my hill up there. The bus let them off right up there. They come down, walk down the dirt road, come in the driveway, come home. They have chores. They got their homework. They get their internet time, TV time, and we be together as a family. Being in the city, man, it's I owe. So after work I go. So I gotta work all these hours. I come home, man. I really don't feel like being bothered, man. I want to lay down. So, that's one regret I really wish I could do over. If I could do that over, I would definitely, with the money I had been approved for on my first mortgage, I probably just came on downhill. But we were depending on my wife's job, so how we were gonna do that, you know? She was working right there in the city of she used to work at a prison up there. Yeah, my wife was a correction officer, and she was working up there. So that 15 and that 30 check, that was our everything at one time. For real, we needed that money. So so we relocated, and that's how we ended up down here. And it was a start. It was a reset, man. It was a factory reset. It really was. I lost weight. I feel better. I used to be so inflamed, man. Like I didn't even realize how overweight I was. I just shared a picture on my page last night or yesterday. And I looked at the picture when I saw it. And the reason why I shared it because I was, you know how you going through your gallery on your phone, and I saw it. I said, man, I was fat. I didn't realize how fat I was. You know, nobody. You never know. They call it weight blindness. You never know how fat you are until you lose weight, and then you realize how big you are. I was so inflamed, man. Like my shoulder used to hurt all the time. My back used to hurt all the time. I used to go to the chiropractor, man, and just get adjustments all the time. And I just was sore, man. I remember how my back felt in my shoulder. This shoulder bothered me all the time. And I went and got an X-ray. They said it wasn't at the tore. I went and got the MRI. They said it wasn't at the tore, ripped, or anything on it. But then now I realized I had inflammation. I was just inflamed because my diet was poor, high sugar. I was drinking alcohol, and y'all know alcohol will get your inflammation up. I was drinking alcohol daily. Wasn't no the weekend. No, I had to have my 2 beers, and then after a while, the 2 beers wasn't getting it no more. So now I got to get me some liquor. And now 1 cup of liquor ain't working no more. So now I got to do 2 cups of liquor. So yeah, I was real deal drunk for a while. I was, man. But I was hurting. You know, now I don't hurt like that no more. Lost that weight, and I ain't in that pain. That stiffness ain't there no more. You know, so the country has been a real big thing for me. So back to the homesteading thing. I want you to understand, man. I'm gonna always stand on the homestead, man. In the sense of, hey, man, you can do it right in the city. Hey, you don't need no doggone 50-acre property to do no homestead, man. You don't need no 50-acre property to do no homestead, man. You could do that wherever you at. But I'm gonna tell you, and I just want to make sure I say this, man. I remember, so it's amazing when you in the middle of something and you changing, but you don't realize you're changing. I was in the middle of a change, and I felt the change, but I didn't see the change. I ain't trying to be no, talk all philosophical or nothing, but I'm telling y'all, I was in the middle of this change that was going on inside of me, and I knew and I wanted it, but it didn't manifest itself. But I realized I was talking to young man Takara. He came down and spent the day with me yesterday on the front porch. We went fishing and everything, man. And he just come around. And he like to be, in the country and then talk to me and stuff, see my perspective on stuff. And I told him this. I said, in order for the change to manifest itself on the outside, it must first manifest itself in you. Because listen, whatever it is you want is already here. It's already here. You hear what I'm saying? I want you to understand it. You're not if your dream is a mansion, the mansion is already sitting over there off Lenox Road or wherever you want to go, right? So it ain't about creating the mansion. Even if you just want to build a mansion, the dirt is already sitting on the ground, y'all. So just listen what I'm saying. So it ain't about the physical, what you're trying to achieve. It's about what you have to become. You have to become something different. You do. You have to be, like I said at the start of the video, most people not consistent. You're not consistent. You be on one path today and another one tomorrow. And that's the only way you're going to ever achieve. It's like an athlete going to gym every single day, lifting weights. When you first start lifting weights, you're not going to see no results. 6 months in, you're going to see some results. 2 years later, man, you're going to be a completely different individual. You get what I'm saying? But it's the consistency that matters. But I learned this. It's in the consistency that you become something. You become something different, man. And most people, and I'm for real, even myself included in that conversation. Not just you, but and I'm throwing a stone, myself included, have an issue with being consistent with anything. When things are not going the way they want it to go, or it's boring, because I'm gonna tell you, man, everybody lacking success or doing successful things to fun. It ain't. It's boring. You got to do it when nobody want to help. You got to do it when everybody leave you. You got to go and keep going when everybody else off finding entertainment for themselves. You the only one still going. You see what I'm saying? So it's not fun. you know. So that's what separates everybody, the successful and the unsuccessful. And I mean, remember, successful is subjective, meaning that it's the individual understanding and belief pattern of what success is that matters. It's not what I say success is. So it's what you feel success is. Your success may be just you and your children, whatever. You successful. But it take consistency. Like you want a family dinner for your family, right? So you start having a family dinner the first week, you know, anytime you do something good, the first week everybody show up, right? Then everybody show up because everybody happy for something new. Then they start dwindling away. You see what I'm saying? They start dwindling away, dwindling away, dwindling away. And now you look up, it's only you there. Now that's in that moment, that's your time to either quit or to dig in. To say, no, we're gonna keep on this, sending out messages. Hey, I missed y'all today. Now I need y'all to come next Sunday. We're having family dinner. Showing up, hey, y'all want to do it over somebody else's house? We can do it over somebody else's house. We just don't have to do it on my house because it's all about the unit. It ain't about what we eating. It's about us coming together as a unit. So that's just a, but staying consistent even when everybody else is swaying, you know, and it's hard. So that's what I tell anybody, man. Whatever you trying to do, man, you gotta stay committed and consistent to it, man, to the point where it's just gonna be you sometimes. You just gotta understand that. You're gonna be the only one pulling. And it gonna seem like nobody helping or nobody, you know, and then don't mess around and have a spouse. If you mess around and have a spouse who start pulling with you and they with you, oh man, you know, because two heads, man, focus on one goal, boy, y'all can reach that goal fast. But the problem is when you got two heads, but each one of them going in two different directions, it become contention. Now they pulling. So now they working against each other, meaning I'm pulling one way, you pulling another. So we now at a stalemate because we can't go nowhere. You see what I'm saying? So if y'all get on the same page, oh boy, y'all will get there faster. For real, for real. But yeah, man, that's one of the things I noticed, man, when I was in the city and mentally making this change. I'm riding, listening to audiobooks every single day. I remember sitting in traffic coming up 285 through Spaghetti Junction, and everybody in Atlanta know 285 in the morning, trying to make it to Alpharetta. That's what my job was at this particular time in Alpharetta, right? So I used to have to come up 285 coming from Memorial Drive up La Vista, you know, all up through there, come up through 85 where Spaghetti Junction was at, make it through that part, then go up to 400. That was the old 400, even before they committed that little Spaghetti Junction up there at the top of 400 now. That was before then. So by the time you get past Peachtree Industrial, it's all blocked, man. So I'm sitting in traffic 2 hours, you know, hour every day, 45 minutes. So what I decided to do was I decided to turn my car into a library. That's what I told myself. This is gonna be my motivational session. And I had these audio books I was listening to, y'all, and I'm gonna make perfect sense because all that birthed me today. That the who I am today, that work I was doing sitting in that car and just going, we started going to seminars. My wife and I started going to seminars. You know, we started doing all kind of stuff, but I would ride in the car and I would be listening to all these books. I would be listening to these books, and it wasn't just motivational books. It'd be spiritual books. I was listening to all these spiritual people. I was listening to financial people. I was listening to everybody, man. I would have just fiction books, but I just started just really engulfing myself while I was in that car. And then on the way back, I'll just pick up where I left off. So I'm getting 2 hours in every day, just doggone listening to new ideas, opening up my mind to new possibilities, because how could you ever achieve something if you don't know it exists? So that's why I'm so adamant about y'all seeing where I'm at and what I'm doing, because it opens up another opportunity and an option in the mind's eye of a person who grew up in the city and who don't know nothing but cement and McDonald's. Like that's all I knew. Cement and McDonald's and lights. And, you know, I didn't understand this and even thought it was a way that a person can move down here and make it. You get what I'm saying? So I always want to open that up to everybody's to see, like, nah, man, it's other opportunities, man. So I'm making this change within myself. I didn't know it. And then a big pivotal moment was, and I did a video about this. I was in Detroit, y'all. I was working in Luminous, right outside of Detroit. And it was like a whole year, man. I was up there. And listen, man, if you don't know Michigan, if you've never been in Michigan in the winter, I done been in Chicago. I done been in New York. I haven't been in upstate New York. Chicago windy as a mug, man. New York get cold and snowy, but Michigan, oh man, stop playing. Michigan, oh man, it snowed one time in Michigan so long, man. Like, cause in Georgia, everything stopped when it snowed. No, man, the snow was so deep. I had to get up in the middle of the night and keep scraping the car off. I didn't even know why they gave me the brush in the rental car. I'm like, why they give me this brush? The man said, you'll find out. I was like, what this brush for? The man told me that's to get the snow off your car. I'm like, oh, okay. Man, I'm getting up. The first night I made the mistake and didn't get up. When I came out, man, my car was buried in snow. When I opened the door, snow fell all in the car. The seats wet. It was crazy. So the next day, I had to get out there and brush the snow off. Cold. So I'm up there this whole year, y'all. This whole entire year, man. I'm flying back home Friday, come home Friday, Thursday night, Friday morning, come back, stay home. I'm flying back out pretty much Sunday. You know what I mean? I'm up there. I'm talking about pretty miserable. Like, I'm living in DFW up there. Like, for real. I know, I know my way around DFW, like in Hartsville, like the back of my hand. Because I'm there every week. Miserable. So I started listening to this TD Jake sermon. And it was a sermon about, he had a New Year's Eve sermon. And I remember how it started. He started, it is not the movement of the clock that produces the newness in life. It's the movement in your mind. Now, in that middle of that, he said, all of us are going through some type of change, and you don't have to be ashamed of yours. And I felt that in my spirit. See, the change is when you want something different and you gotta have it, meaning that they say you will never change into the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of going into the unknown, because change is painful. But they say you would never change into the pain of just staying the same outweighs that. And I know what that feels like. You can have everything you want. Your life could be exactly like you want it, but you unhappy, man. You got a rustling down inside of your spirit. Like it's like a grumbling. Like, I don't care. Your paycheck don't make you happy. The house you living in, you feel unfulfilled. You riding around the car you want. Everything you unfulfilled, man. And that's why we tend to do stuff like retail therapy, and we drink, smoke, get high, because what we doing is we suppressing. We're trying to find stimulants in ourselves, man. We're trying to make ourselves happy using these chemicals and substance, because going to work every day don't make me happy no more. When I first started the job, it made me happy. Now I've been here 6 years and I'm miserable. You see what I'm saying? I used to love this community I live in, man. I've been here for 12 years now, and now I hate it. My community that I lived in over off Stone Mountain felt like a doggone cemetery. I remember riding up the road one day. I was riding up the road and I felt like I was in prison. Like I did. I said, man, it's like prison right here. I've been in prison. So I was like, this what this feel like. Prison. So the very thing that you cherish today can turn into something. It can turn into an anchor tomorrow. And that's how I was. I was miserable, man. I was miserable. I'm talking about for the last few years in Atlanta, I was miserable. My daddy had died, so I didn't have him to go talk to no more, to sit on the front porch and talk to. Just, kick the bobo with him. And everything that went along with his death kind of changed everything for me and my family. My daughter got killed, and it just was miserable up there, man. So I was in the middle of making this change within inside of me, and I didn't know it. It started inside of me. So I started learning. I started teaching myself. And I got myself to the point where I started knowing stuff that I hadn't done. Because of all these reading I was doing, listening I was doing, I was getting confirmation from one book in another. So I would read about this, or I would listen about that, and then 2 months down the line, I'm listening to a new one, or I'm reading a new one, and I already know that's true because I read that in 2 other books. So I find myself regurgitating information that I ain't physically done yet. I haven't done it, but I've been accumulating it and retaining it in my mind, right? So when we went to sell the property and we sold the property, I remember I knew what I was doing a little bit. And when we bought this property, I remember buying it. I knew what I was doing a little bit because I had already put myself in that room, even though I had never been in that room, if that makes sense. So today I want to tell you this, man. A lot of you guys follow me because y'all ready to leave. Y'all ready to change. You tired. And I just want to tell you, it's not going to start with a location. That change, the location ain't going to fix it. It has to start inside of you first. When you relocate, you done already relocated. Before you can relocate, you have to you gotta detach yourself and disassociate yourself, right? So in order for you to move, you gotta let that anchor go mentally and in your spirit. So that was one of the things we had to do. We love that house over there. Like we got comfortable. That nest, you feel comfortable. I remember one time, this how comfortable I had got living there. I remember one time we had moved. We didn't live there no more. And I was driving. I'm on autopilot. You ever been on autopilot before? Like, you don't even know how you got here. Like, that's how I was, right? Like, man, how I get to this exit? I'm on autopilot, right? We had lived there 15, 16 years. I'm driving. I realized at the last moment I was headed back to the old house. And I had to turn around. I had to turn around and go back the other way. I was headed. I'm sitting in traffic. Because I had an office in Norcross. So I had been doing that ride so many times and so long that when I came down Peachtree Industrial coming up out of Norcross, I normally make a left and head back down 285 back towards Murray Drive, La Vista, all that. But now since we live in Buckhead, I make the right, go up to 400, jump on 400, get off right at Piedmont Road, Lenox and Piedmont Road, make that right. My apartment complex right on the right. So I'm just riding, like I'm in autopilot, man. I'm headed down 285, sitting in traffic, listening to my books and everything. And then at the last moment, I realized, I think I got off on La Vista. Like, man, I'm going. That's how long I had been living there, and I had became a little drone, a robot. So that change happened today, man. You want to move, you want to change, you want to do this kind of lifestyle, which is a phenomenal lifestyle. It's very peaceful. The benefits of the country I have found is peace. It's not overly crowded. I think the town I live in, I think they said I got to find a population. I think it's like maybe 30,000 people stay here. Maybe. Small, it's very small. So you walk into the store, you don't have to wait. You walk into the DMV, you don't have to wait. You walk into the tag office, never a line. Like coming from Atlanta, when you walk in the doggone tag place, you got to pull a number. B1235 at window number 3B. And I mean, the place packed. And you got B553. You about to be here all day. Not here. You walk in, there ain't no numbers. You just walk in. Can I help you? You know what I mean? For real. Like, and then the people don't give you no pushback. It's not. In Atlanta, when I was doing business, there was always somebody trying to make something difficult. You go down to the tag office. This girl sitting here. Well, I don't know about that. You go over to the county, whatever office. Somebody telling you no. I got accustomed to no in Atlanta. It was always a no for something. Somebody was always telling me no. You can't do that. Man, down here, boy, as long as you got the money, you gonna get it. I'm telling you, as long as you got the money. Mm-hmm. You walk into that place, you got the money, but them folks are going to them folks are going to look out for you. You hear what I'm saying? So that's the biggest benefit of the country. The stress level have left. I remember, man, listen, I didn't realize how stressed out I was living in the city until I got down here. And sitting in traffic every day will stress you out, and you don't realize it. You got tension. I didn't know what tension was, That means it's a tightness inside of you. You wound up, you tight. And you don't realize it. I was down here, and I remember one morning I woke up, and it was this thing in my chest, man. It just felt tight all the time. And I didn't realize it. And then one morning I woke up, I didn't feel it no more. And I think I told my wife, I said, I was stressed out and I didn't know it. For real. That's why you got to go take them stress tests up there, you know, because 9 times out of 10, it's just a stressful environment. Everybody on edge, traffic, everybody doggy dog. Everybody trying to, and if it ain't Atlanta, it's just another city. It's all about me, mine, I. People don't slow down, and it's will run you over, man. Trying to get to work in the morning, I'll run you over, man, for real. So being here, I get a chance to be serene, and the next thing I found out is allowed me to realize what's important. We chase things in the city, we on that treadmill, just to find out later in life that they're not important. And that's the thing that I really, really want to share with you guys, especially a young person who will listen to me. It's things that you think that are important that if you can separate yourself from the environment you in today and just give yourself time to think and sober up for real. Because if you drinking, even though you ain't had a drink today, but you had one yesterday, that alcohol's still in your system. For real, you ain't sober. That's one thing alcohol taught me. That if you drinking drinks every day, that stuff has gotten so deep into your system, man, it may take a month for the alcohol to get out your system. Straight up, man. You ain't thinking straight. You thinking straight. But you under the influence. You are. And I didn't understand that because I was always under the influence. Because every night I had to have me a couple of beers. I had to drink me some liquor because that was helping me deal with my unhappiness. The fact that I just could not, I was miserable. Just miserable. You see what I'm saying? So all that hard working to spin my wheels to get that nice truck I had a nice truck. My house had completely been remodeled. Like just a lot of nice stuff. Just to not even be happy. You know? Um Using liquor, food as a crutch. Cause I want to say that too, man. The food is just as bad. When you're unhappy, you tend to do stuff like eat yourself to death. Like for real. But when you can find fulfillment in other things, you can realize I'm using this as a crutch. Because addiction is addiction. I don't care what type it is, right? You could be whatever kind of addiction it is, it's an addiction. And it's ultimately going to kill you, you know. So, but I've been there. I just want to say that. Like, I'm not a person that can judge anybody because I done been addicted, buddy. Like, for real. Um, but I get a chance to slow down here, right? And kind of breathe a little bit. And then I was talking to a young man yesterday, and he's telling me a few things, and I was telling him like, man, you'll realize that some of that stuff you think important to you in the long run, it ain't gonna be important to you. And how I can say that is because God has allowed me to see my granddaddy pass away and my daddy pass away, and I had an uncle named Fuzzy. He let me see them 3 men pass away. They were older than me. Fuzzy passed first, my daddy passed, and then my granddaddy passed. Right, granddaddy passed right over there. I remember Fuzzy was dealing with his illness and he was going through it, and he was telling me, we were talking about like he was getting treatment and stuff, and he was going, it was bad, it was tearing him up, but in his mind he was still trying to worry about other things, like what's gonna happen here, how this gonna happen. And I was saying to myself like, dang, Fuzzy, man, don't none of that matter. Cause if you don't get better, you probably ain't gonna make it, you know? So none of that's gonna matter. But I remember him trying to, like, he was stressed out about that pretty much going into his deathbed. He was stressed out about how this gonna happen and that and the third, right? And then when my daddy passed away, I remember I was talking to him about his stuff. Cause I knew everybody was gonna fight over his stuff. And I was like, Daddy, you probably should do this and do that. And my daddy was like, man, I don't care nothing about that no more. And then we talked about it, and he said, I just want to be healthy, man. He said, I can't breathe because my daddy was smoking them cigarettes. He didn't get lung cancer, he got CPOD real bad, and it got to the point where he couldn't get oxygen sometimes, and he'll fall out, and so he had to stay on oxygen. So he said he didn't care, but I remember him working, buying it, and that was a priority at some time at one point. And even with my Uncle Fuzzy, he finally came. We were talking one day. He said, "This stuff will be here when I'm gone," and he just didn't care no more. He had to let it go because he said it'll be here when I'm gone, and it's actually still here after he gone. And my daddy got to that point, and I remember when he got down to his worst, he falling out every other day. It's just bad for him. And even the night he passed away, I was there with him, and he was good. He had a heart attack. Like, he was in the hospital, but he was himself. And when I by the time I got back to the hospital, he was gone. But I saw what was so important to him no longer be important to him no more. Like, he put all this effort in that stuff, and now it's just sitting there crumbling away, right? And I saw my granddaddy the same way. I got a chance to see my granddaddy. My granddaddy passed down here. He almost 90 years old, but he always had nice cars. He always went and got stuff and nice cars, and he did things. And then now he done got older, and he don't care no more. You know, he started like having issues, and he just didn't care no more. He just wanted to watch the Braves and the heat of the night. You know, like that's all that mattered to him. He wanted to sit on his sofa in his chair, and he wanted to watch the Braves and the heat of the night. He didn't even care about his car, but he had put his effort while he was working into that stuff. So that kind of has helped me change the way I see everything now, because we put so much effort in stuff that in the long run not even gonna mean nothing to us. Like, for real, how many of y'all have witnessed your elder men and women, especially your men? Because women are different. Women are social. So women value relationships more than men do. Like, they need that. So women, like, they children, they grandchildren. Like, that's why I'm trying to be a decent granddad. Like, for real, I'm trying to be a good granddad, because I didn't have that example set for me. My granddad was all right. They just hardworking men. Like, them 70s and them 80s, man, them dudes just went to work, when they food on the table, TV on, like, it wasn't about no children. Ain't nobody caring about no children like that. So I'm trying to be a decent granddad, like somebody who the children can say, my granddad, like, he funny, or they laugh when they talk to me, and you know what I mean? Like, I want to be memorable in them children, like, so a positive influence in their life. But it was a time when I ain't even care. Like, I wouldn't care about what no children think about me, because I was just, I gotta get it. I gotta get this money. You know what I mean? I gotta make it, boy. I gotta have me houses and cars, and I gotta have all this stuff. Man, that stuff is gonna be here when you leave, my friend. It's gonna leave you. When you leave, it still be here. And somebody told me one time, they said, I never seen a U-Haul or a rider truck following a hearse. When it's gone, it's for other people. So my perspective changed, man. I'm down here now where I'm at. I got old stuff. I was the new car man. If you talked to me 10 years ago, I tell you, man, get that junk. You feel me? I was the new car man. I had to have a new car. Now all my cars are used. I need a motor in my Tundra. It's ticking like a mug. I'm about to change the oil. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Hold on, switch gears. If you do your oil changes, you need to go buy your oil now and put it in your trunk. They say there's getting ready to be an oil shortage. An internal memo for AutoZone supposedly went out that it's going to be a 40% reduction in oil. So if you're the type of person that do your own oil changes, if you got a little money set aside, you probably want to go pick up some oil for you know what I mean. I just want to say that. But I'm back to the point. I just at the point pass on. But I do my own oil changes. It was a time when I stopped doing all that. All that. My time mean more than that. Talking rich folk talk, bro. For real, that's rich folk talk, man. My time mean more than you. I need a motor in that truck. I'm gonna put some Lucas in that truck, y'all. For real. I'm gonna chain that oil. I'm gonna put some Lucas in that truck and see if that Lucas will quiet that tick down. And I'm trying to get another 6 months out that truck before that motor blow up on me. If I get another year out of that truck. But what I want to do is, I already found the motor. I'm gonna buy the motor first, and I'm gonna put the motor on the back of that truck. I'm gonna ride around with that motor on the back of that truck. For real. I'm gonna ride around with that motor on the back of that truck for as long as I can until that motor go out. And then when that motor go out, I'm gonna limp that mug. When they start knocking to the point or something, I'm gonna creep that mug right on up to the place and jump out of it and say, "Hey, yeah, man, put that motor in here for me." You know, my wife got a old 4Runner right here that I've been working on, dragging my feet on it, but I need to finish that up. I'm trying to say that the change done happen. You know, it really has. You know, but it took a while, man. It really did, man. It took a while. It has taken a while, but I was definitely a consumer. Boy, I had to have it. You know, that made me feel good, buying stuff and feeling like I just got it, man, and drinking myself to death. And now I realize life is not that complicated. It's really not. You know, we make life complicated just to come up with problems. You know, that's what people do. Y'all know that people cause problems just to create solutions. That's what people do. Because things are simple. Think about the world, right? Let's think about it. All people had to do was get them a little piece of property. You know, you got people, everybody, you know, get them, everybody claim their little piece of property. It ain't got to be nothing big, nothing small, just enough for them to grow them some crops on that they can eat for their family and maybe raise them a couple of animals a year to feed themselves. But then all of a sudden, all the people, one man want to take up all the land. Nah, I want it all. Now you got one man in the whole town. You got 30 people in the town, and you got one man that got all the land. When if all 30 of them people just can have their own little stuff, you know. So now I'll sell you some of the land. You know, just greed, problems like in the world, man. We create all these sickness, especially in our country. We create all this sickness and stuff through these foods and these chemicals just to create medicine. When it would be better just to not put the chemicals out, right? So that's what we do as people. We overcomplicate the simple, and that's what we masters of. We masters of creating exotic, complicated lives when it don't have to be that complicated. It really don't. It don't have to be that complicated. It could be really simple, a simple, smooth life. So I remember seeing. I have friends of mine up in Chattanooga. When I stayed up in Chattanooga, I had a friend of mine. He just come home and just be regular, right? And he just got his nice, simple life. Of course, some of us gonna go out and create businesses, and you know, but you ain't gotta have no exotic life if that ain't for you. Just have a regular life. It's okay. Just plant your garden, my friend. If you just want to plant you some garden, plant your garden. That's when people say, "Man, I need 50 acres." I say, "Bro, you struggling with cutting the grass where you at now." I ain't trying to be funny, but if you can't keep a quarter-acre lot cut and manicured to the T, right? You got to pay somebody to do that right now, right? You can't do it. What are you going to do with something like this? So that means the ideal sound good, but the execution is what's going, it's going to learn you, buddy. It's going to learn you for real. It's going to learn you, my friend. Yeah. So I want to make sure I always speak truth. That's what I want to be. I want to be a truth speaker. You know, I want to be the one that I want to share knowledge with you guys, but I want to always make sure that if I can't do nothing, I can tell you the truth. That's it. You know, that's why my kids don't ask me. Do not. I got one that'll call me and ask me straight up. He'll ask me, what you think about this? Because he know I'm going to tell him the truth. Most of them would not call me. They not asking me. They not putting me in their business because they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear somebody tell them the truth. You know. So I got another one. He not my biological child. Is a friend of my son, Brandon. Brandon called me all the time. Like he'll call me, and he another one that he just want to hear it. Just lay it on me. Tell me, am I tripping? He did something one time. It was crazy. He said, I didn't tell you because I knew what you were gonna say. So I didn't tell you because I already knew what you were gonna say to me. And I just didn't want to hear it at that time. And I said, I respect that. I do. I respect that. I respect that. At least you know where I stand. You know what I mean? So that's why I am where, and the crazy same way, he gonna call, he can keep certain things away from me. Now, there's certain things he ain't gonna tell me I don't know about. But for the most part, if it's something he trying to make a decision on, or something he doing, he gonna call me and tell me. And I'm like, all right, man, this is what you probably should do or shouldn't do right here. And the reason why I can tell you that is because I did it. And this how I feel that it, right? And I always tell them boys and the girls this: if you have a parent that done already crashed out, why are you crashing? That's the dumbest thing ever. If you got a parent or not even a parent, somebody you have access to who's willing to share knowledge with you, who has already done made all these mistakes, why are you doing it? Like this idea of everybody got to make their own mistakes is one of the dumbest ideas that has been introduced to our society. That's why people are not getting, certain cultures are not getting ahead as much as other ones, because where the parental advice is valued in one culture is not valued in another. So these kids in this culture are just crashing out, stumbling and bumbling through life, where these are getting ahead because they're taking the guidance from their elders, even if it's not their parents, it's their grandparents, their uncles and aunties. They're helping them make good decisions in life. Whereas in our country, or let the kids be the kids, they walking around this more straight victims to going through the same stuff times two that we went through, and they don't have to, But whatever. Let me see something, y'all. Let me see. I'm gonna come on and try to share. I'm always trying to share as much knowledge as I can with anybody who's willing to listen. Not everybody is willing to listen, and the thing about me is this: I'm to the point where I'm like when Jesus say them, when they say in the Bible, when they say you dust off, shake the dust off your feet and the sandals and move on. I'm out. I don't want to say it twice, really. That's how I am. I tell you, but I don't want to keep telling you the same stuff over and over again. Because you got people who want to ask questions. They want the information just to talk about the information. They're never going to take it and do nothing with it. Like you got people who just in love with talking about something. It's like the person who going to always plan the trip. They want to get together and plan the trip, but never take the trip. I'm talking about, boy, talking about it, coming up with, yeah, we're going to do this and do that. And then they get ready to tell you, oh, right now ain't a good time, man. I'm going to have to wait, man. My money ain't right, blah, blah, blah. Bro, we've been planning this for the last year, and now it ain't right. So, yeah. So you got people who really enjoy talking about things that they never going to go try to do on their own. They never going to do it, So I try to learn to spot those fast. And the reason why I try to learn to spot those fast is because you're not about to waste my time. I listen to people. So when I talk to you, I listen. So if you talking and you coming to me, and every time I say this and you say, but what about, I'm done. That means you're trying to find a reason not to try to do what I'm telling you can be done. I would never advise you on a situation that I haven't done. I am a man enough to tell you, listen, I ain't never done that. I don't know. I'm not going to try that. I'm trying to give you advice on open heart surgery. Come on, man. I'm going to tell you, man, you probably need to find you a professional. Or I may know somebody I could point you to that have done it before. Call him because I know he has done it, right? But I try to spot people who, when I share my experiences with people, I try to spot people who just want to sit and talk about it. Most of the time, the people who gonna do it, they don't even, I don't even hear from them. Like I don't hear from them like that. They just doing it because they too busy doing it. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing that I notice. So as I share my experience with people and I talk to people, I try my best not to spin my wheels, man. Just sitting here, you coming to me with 1,000 problems. You know, at some point you got to take the shot. You know, we can get your perfect form, and we can get you all standing right and everything. At some point you got to pull the trigger. If you ain't gonna pull the trigger, then you just, I say this: knowledge without implication is only information. People say knowledge is power. The devil is a lie. You can know how to do something, but it don't become powerful until you start actively doing it. You see what I'm saying? So if you learn how to be a mechanic, you went to school 6 years to be a mechanic, ASE certified, got a tool chest in the back, right? You know how to do it. You hear what I'm saying? But now you cutting hair, or now you working somewhere else. That all that information you have is useless because you're not using it. You're not using it. Now, when you pull that tool chest out and pull your car up in the driveway, pop the hood, take your tool chest and start working on it, now it has become powerful. You see? So understanding and learning about something, that's just the first phase of it. Doing the work that's associated with the knowledge, like actually actively taking the steps that it takes to, to do it, that's when it becomes powerful. They call that applied knowledge. They say knowledge is power. No, applied knowledge is powerful. Yeah, knowing something, you got so many people that know how to talk about this and that, man. Y'all know in the circumference of the earth is such and such. Not a rocket, not an astronaut. So I'm trying to figure out how is that going to service us working at UPS loading these trucks, my friend. Like we out here loading these trucks up here, right? So how you telling me that the Mars mission and you understanding the circumference on the earth gonna service us in here? It ain't. So it's just conversation. So it's just knowledge without implication. So you just got a bunch of information. And that's how it is. You got a lot of informed people that never gonna act on it. And they regurgitate it. I'm talking about love to talk about it. Get around the family, be the big man in the group, right? Ain't gonna do nothing. I'm talking about talk with a deep baritone with it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Loud and wrong as a mug. Somebody commented on my post on Instagram, loud and wrong. This lady, she said something. And I try not to offend because I truly want to teach, but I make sure I correct when you in error because I don't want nobody else to take that knowledge that you giving, that wrong knowledge that not you in per se, but that person is giving and take it as law because people do that. They do that. So she was trying to piggyback on one of my topics wrong. I know she ain't never did it because she completely wrong about it. Remember, everything I'm telling you I have done. Now, I'm not telling you nothing I ain't never done before. So if you get some information on me about buying a piece of property in the middle of nowhere and turning it into a homestead, that's because I've done it. I spent the last 4 years doing it. I can tell you about a program to get you a greenhouse. I can tell you about a program that'll help do fencing and stuff like that around your place. I can tell you all about it, right? Because I have done it and I'm currently doing it. But you got a lot of people, man, and you got to be careful of these folks, man. I talked about making sure a person has carried the weight or felt the weight of what it is you're doing. And it's a deep concept, but it's really not. And the ideal is this, right? So let's say we working out at the gym and we picking up weight. And I'm benching. So we working up to 225. We're gonna get up to 225, 250, and we're gonna try to max out on that. We focus on form, we focus on reps, and then we're gonna build up, right? That's how it's to work out. We focus on form, right? Make sure you got perfect form. It ain't about how many you do right now, it's how many you do correctly. All right, so that's what we used to do. Now let's say you sitting on the sideline and you watching. You can learn perfect form from me because that's what we teaching, right? You can learn perfect form from me, but you won't get any stronger by watching. You see what I'm saying? I remember one time I was working out with these dudes, man, for the first time. We was in the gym. I was working out with these dudes. I had been working by myself for so long. I had built up my strength. So 225 was pretty much what I was trying to reach. I could hit 315 one time, 275 one or two times. But 225, I could rep that 10 times, right? But check this out. I was working out with these dudes. At this particular moment, I had never repped 225 10 times. I had never done it. So I'm working with this dude. I'll never forget the dude who was on the bench name was Sergio. So I'm hitting it. So since I got a good spot, I'm going to try my 10 today. You see what I'm saying? So I'm hitting it. Normally I get about 6 to 8 and I get off from up on it because I'm working by myself. But I always felt like I could do the 10. So this particular day, I'm hitting it. All right? I'm hitting it. So I get up normally to my 6, 7. It's getting a little heavy, but I can still keep going. Something happened in the gym. Sergio looked off. He ain't paying attention no more to me. So, but my mindset is, I don't know he done looked off. So my mindset is, I'm going to go ahead and go try to get this money because he could get it up off of me if I get in trouble. So, bro, I'm getting to 9. I said, I don't know he not looking. Let's get to 10. So by the time I get to 10, bro, I'm like this. And he not happy. I pushed that thing all the way out. Boom. And I got it up off of me. I jumped up. I was mad. Like, bro, what you doing? Oh, man, my bad. But under that weight, I learned I had it. I could do it. Ever since that day, fooling with Sergio, I could rep 225 10 times. But I was put in that position of like dire straits. So when I say make sure a person has felt that weight, that when you're trying to accomplish something and you're going through hardship, that because everything ain't gonna be easy. Even if you're trying to build a house with $1 million today, you got everything set up. Believe me, it's gonna be some hardship that come with it. It's gonna be a weight that come with it. But in that weight, it's gonna make a new version of you. You see what I'm saying? That by the time you go through that weight and you go through that process, you're gonna come on the other side of it. Some of y'all are going through processes right now that y'all ain't gonna tell nobody. You dealing with it and you feeling the weight of it and it's on you, but it's creating a new version of you. You get what I'm saying? 5 years from now, you're not even gonna see the world differently. You're not even gonna see the world in the same way that you saw it, like you see it right now, because of what you're going through today. So make sure when you're receiving advice from an individual that they have felt the weight and have been up on it, the weight of what it is you're trying to accomplish. You hear what I'm saying? For real. Because you got so many people offering advice because they just giving you regurgitated information, meaning that they have read it, they have studied it, they have watched me work out doing it, but they ain't never felt that pressure. You hear what I'm saying? They have stood on the sideline and watched people do it. Hold on 1 second, my wife. That's my wife coming down the driveway. If I do, no, go. Do not, no, go. Get on. I'm scared he's gonna knock the camera over, y'all. But make sure whoever you're receiving that knowledge from, make sure they done been up under that weight. Because if they haven't, then they truly don't know, man. They just giving you a comfortable version of it. I'm very weary of people who giving me comfortable versions of stuff I'm trying to accomplish. Don't tell me it's an easy way. It ain't no easy way. Everybody got to go through the fire, man. We all got to go through, you know. And the people who are successful are the ones who successfully make it through and become whatever it is that God is trying to turn them into in the middle of that fire, in the middle of that pressure. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you receive that, man. Because you got too many people loud and wrong, man. All on the internet regurgitating stuff, ain't did it or heard somebody do it. Been watching somebody do it. That's why I said, you got a lot of people who have watched their parents go through it. They watch their hey honey. Yeah, they watch their daddy do it, right? They watch their daddy fail at it. And they've called themselves experts of it, but they ain't never felt that weight, right? That pressure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing, man? Yes. How y'all doing? But I want to. That's the main thing I want to share. One of the main things I want to share. But in my spirit, I feel, man, like, it's so many people going through this change. It's a change that's happening. It is, and that's why so many people are drawn to this country life. They want to get out of the city. I get, if I showed y'all my message requests and my messages, like it's too many to respond. Like I need an assistant to sit there all day. That'll be their 8 hour job, just responding to messages. Bro, that's my dream, man. Hey, bro, man, I'm trying to do this. Hey, my, this my dream to do that. Like, man, I gotta get out this city, man. I can't do this. But like, I get so many messages about that. You get what I'm saying? So I know it's an awakening that's happening in a group of people that they feel like they need more, man. They need something other than what they're experiencing right now. And you may be one of them. That's what's probably drawing you to my page. That you one of them. You one of the people that's tired, man. You don't want the same stuff. You ready to get out of the city. You ready to change. You ready to go into you prepared to go into the unknown just to leave behind what you know, because what you know you're not getting no fulfillment out of it, right? I understand what that feel like, waking up every single day in a place of it just don't feel good, man. It don't feel good. My community feels like a casket. When I ride out and I see the car parked on the side of the road, I hate it. Um, Everything about it, just everything about it, man. I don't like it no more. And then I try to relocate and go different places, and just like and I'm still like, ugh. You get what I'm saying? I understand, man. I really do. I understand. And that's what happens when it's time to make the change. You get to the point where you can't, it's nothing making you comfortable any longer. Nothing makes you happy no more, right? And we do everything we can to distract ourselves. We get preoccupied in everything other than our own lives. We get so engulfed in work. We get so engulfed in our children's lives, or our parents' lives, or just we get engulfed in all these distractions without really addressing the main issues of, man, I'm unhappy. All right, dude, you good? Now go, man. Go. You gonna use your get him. Hey, go. Yeah, his tail. Don't want to knock this camera over in front of me. But yeah, I understand how that go. But I can't tell you this. If you are being nudged in your spirit to change, it ain't gonna get no better where you at. It ain't. You got to, because you're just not gonna find any peace. You're not gonna find any peace. The peace and joy is not, and that's probably why the addiction rate is what it is. Because I think the addiction rate is higher than what it is. You just got so many people who not willing to tell everybody that they struggling with alcoholism, because they doing it in the comfort of their homes every night. Whereas you see the dude hanging on the side of the car, yeah, man, what you saying? It's easy to judge him, but you knocking them back too every day in the comfort of your home. It ain't nobody business without drink, right? That's why I think the addiction is what it is in our country, because you got so many people trying to escape this reality of this rat race that we all in this country. This rat race of work, work, work until I just fall over and die one day, or I get diagnosed with something, and hopefully I got the kind of coverage that they'll pay for the treatments that I need. If not, then at least they'll pay for hospice, where I can be given something where I can go out comfortably. You get what I'm saying? You got so many people trying to escape that. Like, you see it all around the nation, in cities, man. Just people on fentanyl and bent and leaning on it, because they trying to escape reality. They are. And as a nation, we have to ask ourselves, what's wrong with the country, and what's wrong with what's going on in the country, that people have to resort to eating themselves, drinking themselves, smoking themselves, shopping. Shopping is another thing. That's what the consumerism is, what it is. Because y'all know how I feel to run and go buy some brand new stuff at the store and just to put it in the closet later and don't even really wear it. I remember that, but I had that jacket in the store. I'm trying it on, man. I'm already stepping out in this mode. But man, I wore that thing 3 times and then gave it away. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, because it make me feel good in that moment. In that moment, it make me feel good, but that ain't gonna solve the issue. You gotta find that peace. And how we find that peace is we gotta get back to the land, y'all. Yep. We got to get back to the land. And it don't have to be 50 acres. It can just be your little patch of ground in the back of your guard in your house. From the dirt we came, so the dirt we returned. The dirt is they found out that fooling around in soil has got this kind of calming mechanism or something about it. We got to get back to basic stuff, y'all. We got to get back to just regular, everyday, just doing regular stuff, man, and stop being in this exotic, miserable life that we done created for ourselves within the cities that everybody is just unhappy, you know. So we gotta eat ourselves. Like, I'm gonna stand on it. The food problem is probably worse than the drugs, because that's why heart disease is the number one killer in the nation, and number two is cancer. So both of them are pretty much tied to eating foods, you know. Well, some of them are genetic and you know, environmental, etc. Cancers are, but a lot of them is just food. So I think the food issue is worse. You know what I mean? Nobody want to address that. Nobody want to talk about the fact that we as a nation and a culture eating ourselves because we trying to escape this miserable existence that we living, working, going to work every day. Got to deal with your boss and your coworkers, and you're just miserable. Whereas, you know, stuff like this is just basic. It's regular. I don't have a lot of money, guys. I'm not a wealthy person, you know, but you don't have to have a lot of money to be wealthy. Let me say that right. I don't have a lot of financial money, but this piece is money too. You get what I'm saying? For real. Let me check some of the comments. I haven't had a chance. I've been just going on, man, talking. Man, I'm really surprised at you guys on YouTube. When I say YouTube has really, really, you guys on YouTube has been amazing how the content is picking up on YouTube in the actual, yeah, the actual engagement, man. You guys are impressive to me. So I got so many people, man. Bro say he ready to reset. I know. Yeah. Let me ask y'all something. And I'm gonna take a sidebar on this, right? We've been on for a while. But let me ask y'all something. And let me get y'all sincere opinion. I'm gonna ask y'all. I really want y'all to tell me what y'all think. Do y'all believe that they're gearing up for another lockdown? I mean, don't just say yeah, but I'm just say think about it. Do y'all believe that? I don't know. The reason why I'm saying this is because they pushing this hantavirus, and then it's the WHO came out with the Ebola warning today, saying that Ebola is in the Congo is in a high whatever. I'm expecting them to say it was somebody on a flight coming to Atlanta soon, coming into Hartsville, and the Ebola is in Atlanta. I'm expecting that. I'm a conspiracy theorist on a small level, not to the point where, but I don't know, y'all. I wonder. It just seemed kind of weird, man, that they really pushing this stuff, and maybe not, or some kind of quarantine or something. I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure. I wonder, man. What you guys do stand tall and impressive to me. The homesteading deal ain't no joke. You all keep me focused and grounded in simplicity. Yeah, and remember, man, homesteading can be as big or as small as you want to. Okay, homesteading is all about self-sufficiency. That's it. Food security, self-sufficiency, being able to take care of thyself. Homesteading is pretty much all them Little House on the Prairie, all that old time and stuff that we watch. That's homestead, right? You got two benefits of homestead financially. You get a tax break, 50% homestead exemption. You get another one, it protects you from creditors, especially in Florida and Texas. If you live in Florida and Texas, you definitely want to classify your place as a homestead. Like I'm telling you, and I'm gonna allow you to do the research of it. But all around the nation, every state excluding New Jersey and Pennsylvania, that I know so far, offer some type of homesteading protection and benefit. Okay, um, yeah, do your research. Do your research and just look around and see. You know, it can greatly reduce your taxes, and it also can protect you from creditors if you ever get in a bind. And on the flip side of it, if you actually work in the homestead like you want to, and even if you just producing um a garden and chicken eggs, that's enough. Like, I mean, I'm being honest. You can produce a garden and chicken egg and buy meat from somebody else if you're a meat eater, right? If you're not a meat eater, then you really all good. You get what I'm saying? And I mean, just to look at how much you've reduced out of your overall budget, you've increased in your health. Like, I don't eat nothing. I don't eat all that junk I used to eat no more. I done lost weight. Like, I would love to visit my old doctors in Atlanta because it was just fine being like nobody just shoot ought to be like losing weight wasn't that never discussed for me. If you'd have asked me 5 years ago, I would have told you I was at a healthy weight. Like, I'm fine, you know. But um, so you could get real simple with your homestead, and let's not add into anything exotic. Like, I see some people growing fish on their place, taking little these big barrels and putting fish in them and growing fish. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, it can really, it's levels to it, man. However you want to go, you can do it, you know. But I do feel that a garden and a homestead is slowly becoming a necessity, but we just don't know it yet. And the reason why I say that, well, I'm not saying we don't know it because I believe all you guys may know it and understand it. But the reason why I say that is because just visit the local grocery store. That's what I always tell everybody. Visit your local grocery store. Go in there. Go to the real food departments and compare the real food departments to the fake food departments. What I mean, the meat and the produce departments. This is stuff that we can produce, right? You can grow oranges, you can raise a pig. Like, it's real meat from chicken. Now, it may be old meat at that store, or they call it lab grown meat now because that's what they doing now. They say they growing. They probably been doing it. They just now have to say they've been doing it. Lab grown meat, etc. But compare the real meat, not the processed, not the sausage, the processed meat, the hot dogs, none of that glue, the junk. That's not real. I'm talking about go look at the real food and see how much real food is in the store, right? Now, slowly walk away from there and visit all the other aisles, and you're gonna see nothing but chemicals, processed paste, soy, just stuff that they engineered to taste like food. So when somebody say America is the land of abundance, yeah, but a lot of it's fake. It's fake. It's not real. If our grocery store was 100% rice, beans, we're talking about crops. We're not talking about engineered food. Rice, beans, produce, real veggies, meats, real meats, not lab grown meats, real meats, but um real eggs, even if you into dairy, you know, cow's milk or goat's milk, like they had to produce real food. No ice cream, no hot dogs, no sliced meat, none of that gluey stuff they done mushed together and made it look like a meat, right? And no potato chips, no microwave this, no microwave that, no canned nothing, right? If our store had to provide that, it'd be a shortage. It'd be a shortage. But see, they have conditioned Americans to eat fake stuff. So Americans have been for generations eating fake food. So since Americans eat fake food, it's easy to provide for them. Just get them junk with that stuff. They'll eat it. You know, I mean, their life expectancy been brought down by 20 years, but it's cool. They fine. You know what I mean? The last 10 years of their life gonna be horrible. They're gonna be dealing with some kind of illness, but they straight. You get what I'm saying? So it's not abundance here. It's just an image. The ideal is. So when I talk about homesteading, I talk about homesteading as a survival, not as a show. I think we have the luxury right now to play homesteading right now. Right now, there is a luxury for us to play in a garden, and it's more for recreation, not for survival, right? We got a luxury to do this and do that, but people are not doing it because it still seems far fetched. And we're being lied to about everything. So why would you be surprised if you go to your local store and it's closed tomorrow? Hey, that never happened. COVID taught us it can happen. You know, COVID taught us that. I used to be in Caracas, Venezuela. Anybody have followed me long enough know that was one of the transformative times of my life. I used to be in Caracas, man. Um, I used to work right across from the Hugo Chavez University at IBM. I was being flown in from Atlanta. We used to have to fly down to Miami, and then we'll fly directly from Miami to Aruba, and then we'll stay in Aruba probably a few hours, 5 or 10 hours, and then we'll fly from Aruba to Caracas, and then some of the flights I fly from Caracas to Houston. We'll go from Caracas to Houston. Um, yeah, most of the time I flew from Atlanta to Miami to Aruba, and then Aruba to Caracas, and then when I flew back, I would fly to Houston. So I used to be down there. You hear what I'm saying? And see, I used to see how the people were dealing with what they were dealing with down there, right? And one of the things I saw was when we went into the stores, it wouldn't be a lot. Like in America, we got a lot of this and a lot of that. It wasn't a lot of this and a lot of that. It was you pretty much got what they had in that moment. And then when I was down there, this was I think it was in 17. You only can get you only can get one item. Like it was one item per person or something like that. You couldn't get a grocery bucket full of stuff. You get what I'm saying? So all right, buddy. So I started paying attention a little bit. So that was 17. I was down there. I think 15, 16, 17, something like that. I gotta look back through my I could find. And I started seeing how that was going like. And then they was having little lines. People was in line to get to the stores and stuff like that. You could only get one or whatever. So then 2020 hit in America. And when 2020 hit, when I was walking in the stores, it started looking like Caracas. When I started seeing how all the water was off the shelf, the tissue was off the shelf, paper towels was off the shelf. There's a paper towel tissue shortage. Then I started seeing the meats disappearing. All the stuff was disappearing. You know, they was, the pertinent stuff, the meaningful stuff was disappearing. You know, people was buying. People were smart with their spending. Then they was actually buying resources. Then, in my mind, I had to go stand at the grocery store one time for my grandma and granddaddy because they was talking about they gonna go out, but at the time it was really heavy. Like protect your elders. If you can go for them, go for them. Don't let them go to the store. You know, they wanted to go, and I was like, "Come on, man, please don't go. I go." And they was like, "We will go to the store." I said, "Just listen to me. They saying this, they saying that." And I ain't know no better. All I knew was what they were saying. So I went and stood in this line. My grandma gave me this long list, and I wouldn't even go in her house. I said, "I'll put this stuff on your front porch, and you get it." So I stood in the line, got all her stuff for her. But I stood in the line, and they was only letting like 4 or 5 people at a time in the store. It was a long line, man. We was off Counter Road, Big Barrel, over off Counter Road, right there by South DeKalb Mall. And they were like, I think they were letting like maybe 10 people in the store. I forget how many they was letting, but it wasn't that many. You could only go in the store. And you could only get like, they put limits on what you can get because you had some people coming in trying to buy the whole store at one time. I remember being out in Caracas and seeing them people standing in line. And when I saw that, the first thing in my spirit was, we're not as safe here as we think we are. We've been shielded as Americans from the problems of the world. The world has been dealing with things. I had a friend from Poland, and I was telling him about, I went in the store and it was nothing, it was something not there, blah blah blah. And he was like, I'm from Poland, man. We used to that. He said that's just regular for us. You go to the store, they got it this month, they may not have it for 6 months. Like they may not have it, you may not see it again. I said, really? He said, yeah, man. He said, that's regular. So Americans, we have been shielded from that, and it's a price associated with that though. So because they're pumping all this fake stuff to us, we suffer in our bodies. We suffer sickness. So homesteading for me and learning how to grow food for me is some prophetic stuff. Like it's I'm trying to, I don't know what's coming, and I'm gonna continue to say that, not to scare you, but to prepare you. Just remember that I'm not trying to scare you. If you choose not to do whatever, that's on you. That's fine. You have a right to say I don't believe you, and you know what? I am 100% fine with that. But you got a whole bunch of people saying the same thing, right? You got people like me saying it. You got people all over the internet saying, guys, we need to start getting prepared. We don't know what's coming. I think that's the prophetic working, y'all, for all my spiritual people. I think that's the prophetic. Like, we don't put the prophetic inside of the box, and we don't understand that it's something in all our spirits that we know something not feeling right. And I was just wondering about this virus. Do y'all think they trying to gear up for something else? I don't know. But they keep talking about this, and the CDC that, and now today WHO comes out, the World Health Organization comes out and say Ebola is now blah blah. What they preparing for? You know? I don't know. But what I do know is the Bible tells us to be like the ant. You need to be like the ant. The ant is always in preparation mode. He's always preparing, and we should too. I've been encouraging people to start little gardens in their backyard. I've been encouraging people to get generators. I've been encouraging people to get solar, freezers, anything they can, learning how to preserve, not for show, for YouTube or Facebook or social, right? But it's just some in me that feels like, man, I think we need to be focused on that, like for real. Ammunition, weapons, practice with your weapons, community. Gotta build up community. So that's what I do when I'm talking to y'all. Gotta build community. You gotta know who to reach out to if the worst case scenario hit. If we get locked in our houses again and they tell us we can't go out, right? I wonder how that look in 26 compared to 2020. You know, I wonder how that look, because this administration ain't giving no $600 extra a month for no doggone unemployment. You know that, right? It ain't finna be no PPP loans, right? The business is just gonna shut down this time if it happens, right? So I think that's the only thing that'll stop something like that from happening, because ain't no help coming this time. We can all agree about that, right? It ain't about to be no help. It's you gonna sink or swim. It's gonna be the survival of the fish, right? I don't know. Tell me what you think. Maybe I'm just a conspiracist at heart. I don't know. Oh man, they're setting something up. That's the first thing I turned and look. You're in Clayton, doing the same thing. What's up, brother? Yeah, yeah. How you doing, my friend? Let me see. Yeah. Hey. He said if they are, it would be a huge blessing to your business. You think so? If they if they shut down, man, it would be a blessing, won't it? Yeah. I am so over the softball sized onions and no taste tomatoes. I had to drop some, and I mean, that's another great point. I want to say that, listen, if you've never eaten fresh grown vegetables or meat that you've grown, you don't really understand. And I understand the tomatoes are horrible in the store. I don't even want them. They garbage. They don't taste like nothing. They don't. But if that's all you've had growing up, you think that's what tomatoes are. I remember living in the city and I ate goat meat in the city. Nasty. But I thought that's just what goat meat was. So I don't really want none of it. It tastes alright. So now I'm eating goat meat straight off my farm. That ain't how goat meat tastes, y'all. It don't taste like that. We were eating old goat meat in the city. It was old. That because we was having to go to the farmers market to get it because you couldn't go to you know, the regular Winn Dixie or Kroger or Walmart to get it. So you had to go to the farmers market to get it. Yeah, they had old goat meat, man. That was old, straight up. Now I didn't ever go to the DeKalb farmer market and get it, so it may be different over there, right? But all the little farmer markets around town, man, them farmers, that goat meat was old. Now I ate a rack of goat ribs the other day. Amazing. We talking about some epic meat, epic. Grandmama said the goat she eat down here the best meat she ever ate in her life. For real. It just don't taste the same. It's not the same. The chicken that way. The beef don't give me indigestion. I mean, it just all has flavor. It tastes like it has flavor to it. That's the right word, guys. Yeah. So if you've never eaten it, then it's you will learn. You're welcome, Linwood Anderson. You're welcome. You're welcome. We would love to try real love grown. Yeah, yeah, goat. I grow goats here on my place, and I can tell you straight up, goat meat so good, man. I'm telling you, when somebody tell me they don't eat goat or they don't like the taste of goat, I just say no. You've had the wrong goat, and I can only say that. And you know, like somebody said last night, respectfully, you had the wrong goat. Respectfully, you have. Um, no, a friend of mine, he has. Well, I consider him a friend. I don't know if he consider me a friend, but it's somebody I know. Um, he raises goats, and he told me something one time. He said the worst thing a person can do is have the first experience with goat meat, a wrong experience. He said that's what's wrong with most people. When they first had goat, it was a bad experience because they had the wrong goat meat. And from that point on, they don't like goat because they ate the wrong meat. And he right. I'm so grateful that I tried it again when I got down here because I was to the point where I didn't have to have it. I didn't have to have it. But now I'm trying to think right now. I might just go throw me some out real quick, man, and throw it on the grill or something right quick. I'm talking about fast. Like try to see if I can throw it out. I got me some. I got me some. I'm about to get off. I got me some in the oven. Sweet potato. I'm still trying to decide what I was gonna make with my wife. That got back in. She been at like a conference or something. But yeah, man. Yeah, having fresh grown meat, fresh goat, fresh chicken, fresh beef. Um, I eat pig. I know a lot of people don't eat pig. I respect what you eat or you don't eat. I eat it. I eat it. You know what I mean? It's good. We raise it right here on our place. We know what it eats. It's not laying in his own waste. It's not, it's not eating junk. It's actually eating quality feed. We thicken that joker up. And the good thing about raising your own stuff is you have control over their diet. You see, and you can decide if you want to do 100% pasture, like put them out on grass. You can decide if you want to do feed, finish them off with grain. You can decide if you want to do 100% hay. You know, you have much more control over the output, the outcome of the animal than you do when you just buying it out the store. I don't trust Whole Foods, and I'm not speaking against them, but anytime a business is associated, then the bottom line is what matters. My health is not what matters. You get what I'm saying? So all I have to do is package up this ideal to you, and everything is a marketing strategy. You know what I mean? So they can market this business as being Whole Foods or market this business as being organic, but you don't know, you know, you don't. But I know where my goat meat ate. I know what these chickens I'm about to process have eaten. I know. You see what I'm saying? My vegetables, I know what's, so that's another big part of this, man. What they call self-sufficiency, you know. But I'm gonna get ready, man. I just realized um oh man, somebody just said they just said yeah, everything is processed. Yeah, everything is processed, salty, fake foods. You right, Patrick. Tara Williams, she said trying to link good brother. Oh, that's it. He said doing the exact same thing. You located in Bleckley County. Just chatted with a gentleman. Just chatted with a gentleman that had Winston dad. Yeah, yeah. That's what's brother name? Yeah, I know him. Mitchell. That's Mitchell. Yeah, that's Mitchell. Yeah, yeah, I bought Winston from Mitchell and his wife. His wife had Winston as a bottle baby. Winston was a bottle baby. Like, well, I ain't gonna say bottle baby. He wasn't bottled. He was babied. Winston thought he was a dog when I got Winston. Like, walk right up to you. And he even was like that after he got big. And that's cool on one stance, but then not on the other, because when they get too big, they still want to rub up against you and that hurt you, you know. Yeah, that's I think his name was Mitchell. Yeah, I know that guy. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. You should have told him to give you my number. You should have told him that, man. He has my number. You should have told him to give you my number. Um, Somebody just reportedly died in Colorado of the Han Hantavus Hanta virus, right? Um, that's scary. I do believe famine is coming because the farmers aren't growing food this year because of the fertilizers and government cut funding on the seeds and the drought. And remember the drought. It was a bad drought down here too, Patrick. Very bad drought. That's something that a lot of people weren't reporting on, and I think a lot of people really didn't understand that a lot of the crops that are growing are behind because we didn't get rain for like 2 months. Like, it didn't rain at all. So you got a lot of farmers, especially in the southeast, that um suffer because of the drought. Their crops suffer because of the drought. And I'm about to give you another part of it. They say a super El Nino is coming, and it's going to impact the southeast with heavy rains. Now, heavy rains will allow your crops to grow, but they hard on the harvesting time. So when you got people who going out there and they're harvesting, like the cotton gonna probably be low this year, because how they gonna harvest it? Because you can't harvest cotton in the rain. You gotta let it be dry so they can bale it up. The hays, a lot of guys not really understanding about the hay. The hay gonna be rough this year, and the reason why I'm saying it is because we're gonna build all the people gonna build their hay upwards into the late fall, right? The early fall. So hopefully the rains don't come before then. I got a friend of mine who do hay, and he said it's not gonna be good for us because our hay has to be dry. So if the hay is impacted, now the animals are impacted. So my ability to be able to raise a herd throughout the winter months is gonna be impacted because I'm gonna have to either buy grain, and they going up on the cost of grain because their cost is going up. I buy grain from an Amish place, and they normally legit, and they just raise the prices because everything is up for them. So now with a shortage of hay because of rain, a lot of people gonna have to get rid of their animals because you need hay to carry them through. That's why I'm growing. That's why I'm trying my best to grow this grass right now. I actually got to get some fertilizer to put on this grass. I got some cowpeas and some brown top millet growing for my animals. I want to let them eat this throughout the doggone summer, and then somebody, if you guys follow me, you see I just bought me a disc. I'm gonna go and disc up these other fields, and I got 2 bags of winter rye already. I just got to pick up me some white clover and some more rye, and I'm gonna spread rye. And I need this rye. If we get enough rain like they talking about, I should be fine because that means my animals can stay on pasture. I can leave them out on pasture. I bring them and put them on the dry lot throughout the day. Throughout the night and early morning. may put a little feed on them, and then let them out on the pasture throughout the day, and let them get a good 3-4 hour run, pull them off of it, and that's gonna save us money. So we should be able to maintain like that. But yeah, so the drought is impacting us down here, and this heavy rain gonna get ready to impact us. So they saying famine. A lot of people been mentioning that doggone word, man. A lot of people been saying that a lot, guys. My stance on it is we need to do something. Whether it's just getting a family garden and start jarring our stuff up, learning how to can our stuff and put it and build us a cellar, and learn how to just, you know. And the problem is you got so many people who are preoccupied with useless things that if I say, bro, you need to learn how to grow a garden, he say, man, ain't nobody got time for that, man. I got work. I'm busy. But he's sitting on the sofa watching the Lakers play. You see, you know, you don't have enough time to ensure the future of your families, but you got enough time, an hour, 2 hours to sit and watch. You know, that's what was happening in Rome when Rome was falling, but they kept everybody at the Colosseum watching them gladiators fight so they can distract them. They wanted to keep them distracted. So Rome was falling, it was collapsing. But the people inside of Rome was in the Colosseum watching the fights, distracted. So now it's heavy on entertainment. You know, we want to watch our favorite basketball, our gladiator fight, or our gladiator run on football, or our gladiator dunk a ball. Or and another aspect of it is these virtual accomplishments like video games and all the social stuff that you can watch. You wasting your time watching fruitless and useless stuff. You know, this type of content is good because we're reaching, it's only a handful of y'all on here, but I'm still reaching somebody. So I'm entering into your home, telling you what's in my spirit. Hopefully it can resonate to your spirit. Then you can reach out to your circle. So that's what makes social media such a powerful tool. It's on one side it's negative, but on the other side it's great because I'm in Southeast Georgia in the middle of I'm on a 14-mile long dirt road, guys, in the middle of nowhere, like straight up. I'm inside your home right now, on your laptop, on your phone, on your TV, speaking with you. You're like telling you what's in my spirit, and hope some of it resonate to you. So, yeah, he called it the Roman circus. Yeah, that's absolutely right. They says, how do we know what's 100% organic seeds versus GMO? I'm gonna tell you something, Dion. I would not be spending my time on stuff like that because everything is GMO at this point. I'm just being honest with you. The reason why is because when you see they say they got a disease resistant tomato, or they have a heat resistant or heat tolerant tomato, that's GMO, right? They have created a tomato variety that will grow specifically in a region. You can take a tomato that'll grow in South Georgia and take it up to Washington State and it may not grow because the climate is different. So what they have done over years is genetically modify these seeds. And I mean, I know guys don't want to hear this, but pretty much everything is modified at this point, guys. If they say it's disease resistant, it's modified. How do you make a plant disease resistant without modifying it? You hear what I'm saying? They say it's heat tolerant. It's modified. Who come up with a heat tolerant plant? But you got these scientists and people and farmers too who have did these experiments and came up with a variety of plant that'll grow through cross pollination, and whatever else to create a plant in a variety that'll grow in their region. So for you, my brother, I would not major in the minor. I would make sure the plants that I grow are good, healthy plants and focus on the nutrition that's in those plants because that nutrition is what's going to sustain you. You hear what I'm saying? And your family. You didn't put any chemicals on it. You didn't put no herbicides on it. You grew it. It might have came from something that you really don't know because you can put anything in a package, man. Take your tomatoes, grow your tomatoes. Now you dry your tomato seeds out. Now you got tomato seeds and you forever growing tomatoes. I did that with my okra this year. I grew my own okra seeds this last year. Now all my okra plants, I grew those. Then they came here. I started with a heritage variety seed, but I don't know where they came from. I just know where the people tell me they come from. You hear what I'm saying? I don't know. But at this point at this point in our society, everything is genetically modified. It's just marketing strategy. It's just marketing, man. They're gonna package something and put 100% organic on it to get somebody who weary to buy it. That's it. You can't trust nothing on labels anymore because it's all lies, man. If you can't trust the medicine, why would you trust the seed? So I would definitely tell you, just get started, man, and do something with what you have and make that work. Create your own seeds from there. At least you know these seeds that I have. I grew these, I created these, they ain't been sprayed with nothing. All these seeds, we put them right back in the ground and we growing this variety of tomatoes. That's what I'm gonna do this year for my tomatoes that's growing, my okra seeds, that's what I'm gonna do, my pepper seeds, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm collecting and harvesting all my seeds and I'm gonna start over from scratch. Next year, I'm not gonna have to buy any seeds and I'm putting seeds that I know grew right here in my area. And I don't use trying my best not to put no herbicides or pesticide. I will put a fertilizer now. I will do that because they stop growing and I have to figure out a way to make them grow. And I done tried a whole bunch of different things at times. And the leafy vegetables, yeah, you can get the leafy vegetables to grow with a lot of stuff. But a lot of these other plants, the root beer, it'd be hard to get them to grow. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, bro, just get started, man. Don't let it um stop you, man. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it get you to the point where you so focused on, it's like majoring in the minors. My wife used to say that all the time. Don't major in the minors. And I don't want to offend you, brother. I'm just telling you that I think if famine is coming, where your tomato seeds came from ain't gonna be as important as feeding your family. You know, whether it's your mom, whether it's your own wife, your own children, and yourself. So you want to be ahead of that curve because you got so many people talking the same stuff in all different regions of the world. How does that work? You got all over the world. You in Africa, people talking famine. You over here in North America, people talking famine. You in South America, you got some people talking famine. That sound like the prophetic to me. That sounds like God is warning his people, because y'all know we are his people, regardless if we embrace him, love him, accept him or not. We are his people. It's warning his people. Hey man, it's coming. I'm just telling you, you know. And this social media is a tool to reach all of us. So I can get into your house and say, hey man, I ain't gonna go as strong as say, I'm just gonna say, I feel something is coming. All right. I feel that change is on the horizon. Um, you got certain things the United States won't let come in the country no more. I got a camera I want to buy it. You can't buy it from, it can't come to the US no more. Um, that ain't good in a supposedly free country. When the country is so free, but now they're saying you can't get this. I can't buy the camera off Amazon. I want to buy it the other day. A friend of mine sent me some money. I was talking to him. I told him I wanted the camera. I was gonna get the camera. He said how much it cost. I told him. He sent me half of the money. I was like, I wasn't even expecting that, bro. I was just telling you that's the kind of camera I was interested in getting. Now I'm a camera guy, right? So when they start blocking things, right? Now I'm like, okay, there's power and control over us. So who's to say they won't block that? Or this right here? Put regulations on that. So get ready. That's all I can say. Get ready, bro. Whether it's a garden in your backyard. This is the time to learn right now, and it ain't no pressure. You can get great at it while it's still fun. But when you having to start to put seeds in the ground, and that's all the seeds you have, that's the only dirt you have, and you need for something to happen. I was saying, like they say you're supposed to pray over your crop, right? When you plant it. I can imagine a man just got this little bag of seeds, and he got 6 kids and a wife. And he looking at the food in his cupboards and jars and stuff, and he's seeing it dwindle. And they budgeting it and they rationing it out. I can feel that man taking them seeds out there working that soil and putting them seeds in the ground. Boy, I be praying too. I be praying too. Lord, please let these seeds germinate. Lord, please let it rain. Lord, please let these things take root. You see what I'm saying? Same way. But we've gotten so comfortable in this country that we don't believe that's true. We don't think that ever can happen again. I don't believe that. I don't. I don't. And I'm not 100% conspiracy guy. I think some conspiracies are truly a con. They're trying to get you to spend money with them. While others, it may be some truth in it. You know? I don't know, man. Yeah. Nah. So I'm using the camera I got right now is top notch. Now I want a camera for when I walk around, right? I got so I've been doing cameras. I've been doing this camera stuff for a long time, man. He asked me, have I tried grounding? I haven't tried that. I need to. Brad asked me what made me wake up. Yeah, man, long story. But I spent time in Caracas in COVID. I spent time in Caracas and I watched how the government, it was certain stuff those people couldn't get, or you only can get one of. And then I remember in 2020, when I was standing and going in the grocery store, you only can get one, and this, that, and the third. I remember how much I felt like I was back in Caracas, and I realized that we not safe in America. That America is a image, it's like they call it the Roman circus, like brother just said in here. I'm gonna use that statement again. I appreciate that. I heard it before, but you just really brought it back. It's the Roman, it's the distraction to keep us distracted from what's really and truly going on. You know, yes, you can DoorDash, but what they delivering is fake. It's not real. Your body is not getting no substance from it. You got this big balloon around you because your body don't know what to do with all the stuff you're consuming. The reason why your belly is swelling up is because you're swelling up, you're filling your body full of stuff that your body just simply don't know how to process. What am I supposed to do with this? I don't know what to do with it. Store it around his belly just in case if he ever need it, I can go back and get it and we can survive off that. Because your body is always in survival mode. It's trying to survive. So it's going to store it. But I don't know how to process it. I can't use it, but let's store it up. So that's why you got this big round belly epidemic in our country. Because everybody's consuming fake stuff. Body don't know what to do with it. All right. So that's what made me do that. I'm gonna look into grounding my plants. Yeah, I'm gonna look into grounding my plants. Yeah, I'm a camera guy. I have been doing cameras, guys, for a long time. I was working my corporate job back in, I think I still got my 80D. I'm trying to sell it or trade it for something. I still got my 80D, my Canon 80D that I bought originally, man. I done shot video, music videos, all kind of stuff with it. I want me a gimbal camera. What they call them, the DJI Osmo. They had the 4 come out. The DJI Osmos 4 came out, but you can't get it in the States. You can only buy it overseas. So they got a DJI Osmo 3. I can decide if I want to do that, but I don't know. So I was just telling my buddy I was gonna buy me one of the ones that the DJI Osmo, and I would tell him how much it costs, and he said, check your cash up. And he sent me half of the money. So you can't buy it. But yeah, this one is top notch, man. This a high end joker right here. One of the best cameras I ever had right here. It's a Sony FX3. I got an FX30 too. I like the FX30 because it shoots. You can plug it directly in and stream directly from it. The FX30, but the FX3 is way better. It's got a wider crop. Like you see how I'm doing this wide frame. I can come back and tighten it up and do profile, portrait type videos with this wide crop. So yeah, the lens on that joker wide, where that FX30 is an APS-C. It's a camera type. Yeah, I'm a camera dude, man. But I'm gonna tell y'all something before I go. I've been doing cameras since I was working my corporate job. And y'all know what I was preparing for right now. I was preparing for right now, y'all. And I just didn't know it. I was learning how to do this stuff. I was learning how to shoot. I was learning how to light and edit and everything that come with it, right? I even got software that I purchased 4 or 5 years ago that I bought. When I bought it, I spent the money up front and I paid for a lifetime subscription and I still got it. Yeah. Pro Tools, I record music before. I used to have a studio and I still get Pro Tools. I still got Resolve, DaVinci Resolve, bunch of stuff. I was in preparation for today and didn't even know it. God is amazing, y'all. God is amazing. All right. We've been on for an hour and 55 minutes. I done talked y'all to death. Hey, man. Take care. Yes. Hey, let me say this to all my YouTube people. Y'all are amazing, man, because YouTube is starting to pick up and it never did before. Now, right now, all the comments on here, guys, are pretty much from YouTube. If I put all my comments on the page, y'all would see YouTube. You will see YouTube. Watch this. Look at all the YouTube comments. Let me scroll up and let y'all see. These are my YouTube comments. I'm gonna scroll up and see if I can go all the way up, if they'll let me. It's not letting me go up. It's only showing the new stuff. But Huntsville, Alabama, what's going on? Yes, thank you, Grand Acres. I appreciate all the support, like, shares, comments, just being on with us, man. Like, that's important. That's really important. Yeah, look at all those YouTube comments coming in, Facebook. Yeah, yep. I got rid of cable and all I watch is YouTube. I'm telling you, like, y'all remember how we grew up? We grew up YouTube. I mean, cable. I watch. It's a couple of shows I watch. My granddad said, "You don't ever watch no TV." It's a couple of shows I watch, but primarily, I am the show. You know what I mean? I spend my time being the show. For real, y'all. All right, man. Let me go. I appreciate y'all watching. We done did 2 hours, and I'm just trying to hold on. Are y'all using organic flour or regular processed? We using organic. We mill our flour. Yeah, I gotta say something. We mill our own flour. We buy wheat berries from an organic source. Yeah, we buy direct wheat berries. We don't use no store bread. We don't use no all-purpose flour because it's depleted of all the minerals, man. It ain't nothing but a byproduct. It's left over. It's garbage. And truthfully, we don't even know what it is, you know. So we buy wheat berries and we process. So anytime I eat bread, that's why I don't get it as much because it's a process to make it. My wife has to grind them up. She grind them up. And it's just like with our corn. If I do like cornbread or grits, we mill the corn ourselves. And I want to get another miller. The miller I have ain't really good. It's another one that we gonna get that my wife can mill. It's a little bit more expensive, but you can control the grains. You want to like make grits, you could say I want it to be grits, or so. But yeah, that's what we're using, man. For that, for sure. Thank you for the heads up on that. But yeah, we're not using nothing. Nothing. And even with sodium, I want to tell y'all with salt, man, pay attention, man, because they put chemicals in salt, put sugar in salt. It's a lot of stuff in salt that, especially the cheaper versions of salt. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to it, because a lot of this stuff that we grew up eating, we didn't know, because our people didn't know. They didn't have the information that we have, right? But now we know. We didn't know what that word meant on that. We thought it was just something we supposed to have. We didn't know. But now you got dialysis clinics popping up everywhere. We want to know why. Everybody say it's the salt. What if it's the stuff in the salt? Yeah. What if it's the stuff in the salt that's causing your blood pressure to raise? It's the salt, but they got chemicals in the salt. They got anti-caking agents. They got dextrose in salt. Like what is that? That could be doing it too, right? Yes. I'm using not Celtic salt. I'm using a mineral salt. Man, I get this joker from these Amish. I'm hearing about this Celtic salt, right? I've been hearing a lot about that as well. Yeah. But I get this mineral salt. It's a mineral salt. It's good. It's good. But it's supposedly straight minerals. But I'm going to look into that Celtic salt too, my friend. All right, y'all. Let me wrap up. I got to go. I done fed the animals. I got some sweet potatoes in the oven. I got to get me something out right quick. I'm going to cook. I got some ground beef. I'm gonna cook that meat, and then I'm gonna eat a sweet potato and that meat tonight. My wife just got back in. Yeah, Redmond salt. That's what I use. Redmond salt. That's what it is. It's called Redmond's. Yeah. Yeah, it's Redmond's. That's exactly the name of it. Redmond salt. Yep. I get it from these Amish people. They sell it on Amazon too. But I found out about it from these Amish. It's an Amish community not too far. Well, it's a little far away from me. It's not too far from my mother-in-law. It's in Montezuma. The Yoders. They're pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Yeah, they're pretty cool. A lot of people don't know that salt helps move water through the body to hydrate you. Yeah, knowledge, applied knowledge is power, my friend. And we got access to more information that our forefathers didn't. They didn't have access to the stuff that we have. And I'm challenging a lot of belief patterns in my and just even in my genetics, where I'm saying to myself, like we just had the salt conversation. But you read the back of the salt, go to the store and just open up. Like, I got some kosher salt in there that I use to clean my cast iron with. And that's all I use that kosher salt for, because it's got thick grains, it's greasy. So I pour it over in my cast iron skillets and I wipe them down, because you don't want to mess up the doggone seasoning on it. I was reading the back of that. They got an anti-caking agent in there. Like, we don't even know what they're doing to our body. You see what I'm saying? Like, what's that doing? It's anti-caking the salt. Is it anti-caking me? You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah. Now, liquid IV got a lot of sugar in it. Be careful of that. Yeah, I used to drink those. Be careful of liquid IV. Like, no, are you saying I drink liquid IV taste like salt water? Yeah, I had liquid IV before, but read the sugar content. Yeah, that right there may kind of, yeah. You may be setting yourself back a little bit with the sugar. Yeah, it's the sugar that's kind of, because it's a white powdery substance. All of the white powdery substance where you sticking up your nose or putting it on your food, all of it. It's bad. All right, y'all. Let me let y'all roll, man. Hey, man, I appreciate this. Thank y'all for joining me. I don't care if it's just 3 of y'all. I thank y'all, man, for engaging and talking back and forth with me. I appreciate it, man. I really do, man. All right. This Larry. I'm gonna talk to y'all in a minute. Y'all be easy. Peace.